The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Mingy Beef Jerky, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
Hello, welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with Rob Uller again. Rob, great to have you back on the show.
It's always a pleasure being here, Gary.
And we've got another great show. Bourbon County's in the house. They always have a good team over there, Bourbon County. John Hodge does a great job.
Does a great job. It's a really good team there in Paris, and they're making a lot of noise.
And we're going to have a feature on Drew Sawyers. He's that young man. He's that dual threat, that quarterback there at Pulaski Southwestern.
Southwestern Warriors are ready rolling this year again.
They really are. They're undefeated right now.
Undefeated.
Undefeated. And our scholar athletes, they hail from Bryan Station High School. We've got 3 of them in, and I won't tell you their GPAs, Rob, because they're a little bit higher than ours were.
I am sure they were. They best kept secret over there at Bryan Station. They're really coming on strong, both academically and on the volleyball court.
They're 5-2 on the volleyball court.
That's right.
They're having a great season. And we're going to drive down to Nicholasville to 27 to Sutherland Chevrolet, a drive of the week. We always have a great. I think Lee K. Howard gave it to us last week.
I think that's a great segment on this show.
And Peter Gray from UK Sports Medicine. What are we going to talk about with Peter?
We're going to talk about some very practical things now with heat acclimatization. Problems we've had this past week with the heat and learning how to deal with the heat.
That's going to be good stuff. All that coming up on the show. And, of course, we have the wrap as well, and we'll talk to our new intern on the show tonight. But let's get to the best highlights in the state of Kentucky. These highlights brought to you by Central Bank.
And welcome into another edition of Game Time. I'm Lee K. Howard. He is Brian T. Milam. The T stands for terrible. This is week 4 of the high school football season. Brian?
I hate you. We're nearly halfway through the regular season, and tonight we head to Berea for our game of the week, the Battle of Madison County. Madison Central opening the season with a couple of wins before falling to Southwestern on Madison Southern's home turf. The Eagles are trying to break a 3-game skid to the Indians. Here's Alex Walker with our game of the week.
Brian and Lee K, it's the Battle of Madison County, but tonight's host, Madison Southern, haven't put up much of a fight the last 8 meetings. Their county rivals, Madison Central, have won 6 of the last 8 in this series, including a 37-13 win last season in Richmond. Now, much like last year, the Indians lethal on the ground. Freddie Chenault, his first of 4 touchdowns. The third puts the visitors in front 21-8. But look, don't count out the Eagles. Alex Knuckles on 4th and 2 hops the line, rumbles in for 6, and that cuts the lead to 6. Then under a minute to play in the half, Derek Miller, the pump and the strike, the bench snap, 28-15 Indians at the break, and they cruised from there. A pair of short rushing touchdowns and a defensive score in the second half to seal a blowout win, 47-15.
It's always a big game, you know how these things are with crosstown rivals, cross-county rivals, whatever. I mean, it's an important game, and we always just try to tell everybody the truth. I mean, this is a big game, and it's fun and all, but at the end of the day, they're chasing their championship in 5A, we're chasing ours in 6, and after this game, we get a little bragging rights, and hopefully we can pull for each other, and everybody just go right on.
With the win, Central improves to 3-1. They've got a home test against Douglas next Friday night. As for Southern, they dropped to 1-3 with a trip to Southwestern on deck. Reporting for WKYT Game Time, I'm Alex Walker.
Welcome back in. I want to thank Roberts Insurance out of Richmond, Kentucky. They're on Main Street. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky. Thanks to Roberts Insurance for sponsoring the show. Speaking of the show, and Bourbon County's in. Coach, you know, year in and year out over there, you produce a winner. What's your formula for all that? I mean,
well, it starts with guys like these 3 that I brought with me tonight. they, having great players obviously makes you a whole lot better of a coach. And then I think, our kids, believe in what we do and commit in the off season, and we've been very fortunate to put out a pretty good product the last few years.
You have. If you go back 4 or 5 years, Coach Hodge, I'm going to go in and toot your horn because you won't. 10 wins average, I believe.
Yeah.
About 10 wins. That's pretty strong.
That's real strong, and that's buying into the program.
It is.
What student athletes did you bring with you tonight?
Today I brought Kamar Myers. He's a senior running back. Max Hill, he's a senior offensive lineman, and Daniel Frederick, he's a senior offensive and defensive lineman.
Kamar, I'm going to start with you. Is that okay, sir?
Yeah.
You lead the team in rushing and scoring. How are you able to do all this?
The major reason is because I have a coach that's grown up with my parents and he knows how to push me. And I have a very good underclassman, and I got 5 big hogs in front of me.
And they move that line of scrimmage, don't they?
Yeah, make it very easy for me to run.
That's great. Now, Max, up front, that's where games are won. We both know that. What have you done to make this happen?
It starts with practice. You got to have a great week of practice, and then on Fridays you just got to be physical and win every rep.
And Daniel, playing on both sides of the football, that's not easy. What have you done in the offseason to make sure that you had great success?
Well, it all started in the weight room back in January. We were all told that we will be playing both ways, and we all mentally and physically prepared ourselves for it.
So you got ready for that rigor because you knew conditioning was going to be key, Coach, especially when you got guys going both ways like that.
And it's a fight up front every play on that offensive, defensive line. Coach, you ranked in the first poll, number 10. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about your district.
Well, I didn't even know that, to be honest with you, but but that's good. It's good for these guys to be recognized. It's good for the fans. We don't pay a whole lot of attention to it as coaches just because we're so kind of narrowed in on what we've got to do each day. But I'm excited for this season. We've got a great group of seniors. They're not a big group, but it's a good group that's worked really hard, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to pay off in the long run.
And Coach, you of course play in Class 4A.
Yes, sir.
And that's a very good class.
Yes.
Tell us about the competition you're going to have in 4A.
Well, each and every year in our region, it runs through Ashland and Johnson Central.
And they're good again this year.
And they're good again this year, and they're going to be good each and every year. So we've got our work cut out for us, but I like the way this team's coming along, and I think if we can continue to get better each week, we got a great chance in November.
Well, John Hodge, Mingy Beef Jerky would like us to present you with some Mingy Beef Jerky. I know you enjoy that. You said you're going to eat it on the way home.
Eat it on the way home.
Eat it
That's
on the way
right.
home. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys, and keep up the great work in Bourbon County.
Good luck, guys.
Now we're going to this feature. It's on Drew Sawyers. He's from Pulaski Southwestern.
When you're running, it doesn't look there, but when it pops open, it's beautiful.
It only took a few seconds for Southwestern's Drew Sawyers to make an impact in Friday night's game against Madison Central.
Electrifying to see the first one get in the end zone and give us some momentum. And, anytime that you can start the game off like that, puts a little fire under them.
10 Bob.
The Southwestern quarterback put a fire under his team, leading the Warriors to a 26-7 win. And he did it with just 36 passing yards. Not the typical stat for a QB on a winning team.
Yeah, I don't think many throw for 36 yards, but I try to use my feet as much as I can.
Well, he's versatile, that's for sure. He can run, and we try to put the ball in his hands and let him do something positive with it.
He did a lot of positive on Friday, rushing for 136 yards and a pair of touchdowns.
He can throw the ball, and we've got some capable receivers that can catch the football and put it in the end zone. So, we've got kind of a dual threat there. He can throw or run.
So teams have to watch out for the throw and the run, and if you can get a quarterback can do that, it's pretty deadly.
With Friday's win, Southwestern improved to 3-0 on the season. Lee K. Howard, WKYT.
Welcome back into the show. Of course, our most popular segment because it highlights girls and boys are doing great things in the classroom. This instance, it's Bryan Station. And we want to welcome Jackson Hancock. Welcome to the show, Jackson. Good to have you as an intern.
Glad to be here.
Let's start over here with Bryan Station. Let's start with Michaela. You know, it's hard to keep a 3.94 grade point average. I mean, I know because mine wasn't quite that high. So, you know, how do you make it work for you?
You know, I just have to remind myself that being a student athlete comes first, so I put my schoolwork first. And coaches give us plenty of time before practice to go retake tests, and that helps a lot. And my parents support me a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, it helps when you get that parental support, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jade, you have a 4.2, which is outstanding. Tell me more about the medical academy you're involved in at Bryan Station.
Well, seeing all the opportunities and jobs in the field in the medical academy, I instantly knew I would like to become a pediatrician.
Elena, with a 4.56, you don't mess around in the classroom, do you? That's like, that's above the charts there, 4.56. Does that carry over to the volleyball courts for you?
Absolutely. I just go into practice every day doing my hardest, but making sure I always put my academics first to make sure I do the best that I can.
Coach McKenzie, from a coach's perspective, is the program continually getting stronger as you guys go?
It absolutely is. And with student athletes like this that have all the characteristics a coach would desire, we just keep getting better and better, both in the classroom and on the court.
Is this the best volleyball team you've had at Bryan Station, or one of the best anyway?
One of the best. Yeah, it's funny because it's just continuing each and every year, but it's a solid group. Michaela came in with me. She'll be one of my first 4-year seniors, and these two came in the next year, so I just we keep getting better and better.
This was for Michaela and Jade both. This is a question for both of you. Do high marks, do they help when it comes to strategy in volleyball and planning things out on the court?
Yes, I think it's all about discipline, and it all starts at home and on the court, so it carries on to the court.
Yes, and I think that high marks, you have to practice and work hard for them, and so in volleyball, working on strategies, you need to work hard for them so that you can get better and improve.
That's a good answer, yeah.
Elaine, as an underclassman for you guys' team, how do you see the future coming?
I definitely see us going to state by the time that I'm gone, but even before that happens, I just see us getting closer as a team and definitely beating almost all the city teams there.
Well, Coach, is Henry Clay the bar in the city of Lexington?
They've always been the bar, been at the top, and Dunbar is they're the one that went to state last year and won regionals last year. So right now they're leading the city.
Right. Well, girls, congratulations for the high marks there. Ryan Tyson and Crown Trophy will present if you'll pass that down. All three of you will get a plaque from Crown Trophy. Go over there and he'll personalize that for you with your name and school. Congratulations for the great grades there, Bryan. And the good volleyball team. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
That's the volleyball team from Bryan Station High School. Now we're going to the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Let's take a look at the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. Rockcastle County at Woodford County. The Yellow Jackets trying to end a 20-game losing streak, and Sidney Mudd contributes with an interception, and officially he takes it 100 yards for the touchdown. He will forever be in the KHSAA record books, and Woodford wins it 63-20, ending the Schneid. Sidney Mudd, you're the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Welcome back into UK Sports Medicine Orthopedic Surgery segment. Peter Gray joins Rob and I. Great to have you on the show, Peter.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Peter, what we're going to talk about is a real timely topic right now. We're going to talk about what acclimatization is for athletes.
Right, so acclimation or acclimatization is the gradual increase in physical activity with exposure to the environment. So for fall sports, we focus mostly on heat acclimation to decrease the risk of heat illnesses and things like that.
A lot of hydration, a lot of fluids.
Right.
To make sure your body's adjusting to that heat that's going on out there. What should athletes do to get ready for sports?
So most coaches, they have an acclimation period in their preseason where they kind of ramp up their practices. What athletes should really focus on is proper nutrition, hydration, like you were saying, and even sleep. This helps their body cope with the stresses of exercising in the hot environment and will help with the acclimation period. They should also be doing an off-season strength and conditioning program so that they show up to practices and they're already kind of conditioned.
A lot of it's done in the off season.
Right, right. Talk to a little bit about how that internal temperature means a lot to these athletes.
Right. So as a sports medicine professional, we are always wary of overheating. So if you are conditioned and you go through this acclimation period, and it's very important for football because they have the helmet on and the shoulder pads on.
But it could be for other sports too.
Right, it'll be for all sports because the temperature heat index matters a lot. We forget about localized how turf is made of black pellets and how it emits heat and traps heat. Those turf fields during the heat of the day or even all the way up to 5 o'clock can be just radiating heat.
Yeah,
right.
Good stuff, Peter. We thank you for that. And that's how to get acclimatization, get acclimated to your environment there. The website and the phone number's up there, UK Sports Medicine. Give them a call. They're the best. Now we go to this final highlight package on Scholastic Ball Report.
After 2 games, Western Hills Mr. Football candidate Wandale Robinson averaging nearly a first down every time he rushes the football. The senior giving the Wolverines more than 250 yards of offense every night. Tonight, Bath County trying to stop number 1 Mr. Robinson. No score in the second quarter until the aforementioned gets loose. Wandale Robinson.
Oh, you're not catching
there's
him.
a move. 77 yards. It is 7-0 Western Hills. The Wildcats, they're moving the ball late with their outstanding running back, Landon Swartz. He's averaging 226 yards. And then watch the moves here. First down and then some. Bath County's knocking on the door. Under 30 seconds left in the half. Ryan Leach to pass. Watch Jason Rogers. The one-handed pick. And now he runs back to Salt Lick. Cuts at Camargo. He is going to all the way back to Frankfort. 92 yards on the pick 6. And Western Hills shuts out Bath County 20-0.
All right, Scott County trying to drop a win up north at Cincinnati Moeller. The Cardinals, they couldn't get their offense going early. Peyton Brown stuffed by a host of Crusaders. Scott County had a 3-0 lead in the third quarter, though. Reese Boggs is going to connect with Crosley McKeechin. I don't know. He's not watching the show. 7-3 Moeller's on top, but Scott County's Austin Barnett, who is watching, would score with 8 minutes left in the game. And Scott County, look at this, huge win at Cincinnati Moeller tonight, 10-7.
Welcome back in. We want to wrap the show up. Thanks to Bourbon County for being here. And, of course, Bryan Station. They got a good volleyball team this year.
Great volleyball team that's really come a long way.
And Jackson, I tell you what, LCA football played Catholic the other night.
Well, they play this Friday, Lexington Catholic versus Lexington Christian at Catholic. It's going to be a great game, hopefully. Last year resulted in a win for LCA, so Catholic's coming back for redemption this year.
Was that the Lightning, the big Lightning halftime show, or right there? Remember at LCA? There was a big delay at halftime. Remember that?
I think so.
Catholic came out and scored a bunch of points in the second half.
We did have a good third quarter though.
Yeah, you did. And also, you guys and Abby, you all will be interning on the show. What do you think about Lafayette? What about the marching band over there?
Oh, they work so hard. They're working on a performance called Mosaic right now, and it's looking really good.
Yeah, I saw them Friday night. They were very good, right?
And that's another thing that we always recognize great bands here as well.
Yeah, we'll have the state champion band on here later on in the season. You know, after I think the state marching band competitions are in November. Is that right?
Yes.
Right? Are you in the band there at Lafayette?
I'm not. I play the cello.
Play the cello, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to working with all you guys this year on the show. And, of course, Madison Davis will be with us from Douglas. So some great interns on the show this year on the Scholastic Ball Report. We hope you'll enjoy them as well. As always, for those you see and those you don't see,
keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Mingy Beef Jerky, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.